Hello there, and welcome to this quiet exploration of a world that never truly sleeps. Today, we are going to talk about a mystery that lives in the very air around you, a sound that has puzzled scientists and kept thousands of people awake in the quiet hours of the night. It is known simply as the hum. As you settle into your space, let your body soften. Allow your shoulders to drop, and let your breathing find a slow, natural rhythm. There is nothing you need to do right now. But listen, the day is fading, and the earth is beginning to tell its story. The world is often thought of as a solid, silent place beneath our feet. We imagine the ground as an unmoving foundation. But if we could hear the planet the way a sensitive instrument does, we would realize that the earth is constantly ringing. It is a persistent, low-frequency vibration that scientists call the Earth's free oscillation. Imagine the entire planet as a giant bell, made of stone and iron, struck by an invisible hammer. This bell never stops ringing. It vibrates at frequencies so low that the human ear usually cannot detect them. Yet it is always there, a deep tectonic hum that resonates through every mountain, every ocean, and every house. For most of us, this sound remains hidden, lost in the static of modern life. But for some, known as the hearers, the world is never quiet. Since the 1970s, people in places like Taos, New Mexico, and Bristol, England, have reported a steady, mechanical drone. It sounds like a distant diesel engine idling just beyond the garden wall, or a heavy transformer humming in the dark. It is a sound that defies distance. You can close your windows, you can move to a quiet basement, but the hum follows you. This is because it is not just a sound, it is a pressure, a vibration that interacts with the very structure of your body. When we look at the science of the deep earth, we find that this mystery is built on layers of physical reality. One of the primary suspects in the case of the global hum is the ocean. Trillions of tons of water are constantly moving, driven by the moon and the wind. As these massive waves collide with the continental shelves, they send a rhythmic pulse deep into the Earth's crust. This is known as microseismic noise. It is a constant, rhythmic pounding, like the heartbeat of the sea, that travels through thousands of miles of solid rock. In the quiet of the night, when the human world stops its frantic movement, this oceanic pulse becomes more apparent. It is the Earth's way of breathing, a slow, watery commerce between the tides and the stone. But there is more to the story than just the waves. We must also consider the atmosphere, that thin, fragile layer of gas that clings to our planet. The atmosphere is not a void, it is a fluid, much like the ocean. Massive waves of air, known as acoustic gravity waves, ripple through the sky. They are triggered by severe weather, by thunderstorms that reach high into the stratosphere, or by the shifting of the tectonic plates themselves. These waves are so large and move with such power that they can actually press down on the Earth's surface, creating a feedback loop between the sky and the ground. This is what scientists call atmosphere-lithosphere coupling. It is a dialogue, a permanent, humming conversation between the air we breathe and the ground we stand upon. As you listen to these facts, notice how your mind begins to simplify. The complex worries of your day are like high-frequency noise, sharp, jagged, and tiring. But the hum, the Earth's scream, is a low-frequency energy. It is slow. It is steady. It is ancient. Imagine your thoughts slowing down to match this planetary rhythm. You are moving away from the fast world of humans and into the slow world of geology. In this place, a single breath can last an hour, and a single thought can last a century. Scientists have spent years trying to locate a single source for the hum, but they often find that it comes from everywhere and nowhere at once. This suggests that the hum is a property of the system itself. It is a state of resonance. In physics, resonance occurs when an object vibrates at its natural frequency. Because the Earth is a closed system, a sphere of defined mass and density, it has a natural frequency, a note that it wants to play. Everything on this planet, the trees, the buildings, even you, is part of that vibrating system. You are a small string on a very large instrument. Tonight, instead of resisting the vibration, imagine yourself becoming part of it. The hum is not something to be solved. It is something to be accepted. It is the sound of a planet that is active, alive, and shifting. It is the sound of the mantle moving beneath the crust, the sound of the magnetic field shielding us from the sun. It is a protective drone, a white noise of the cosmos. As you drift closer to sleep, let the idea of the hum wrap around you like a heavy, velvet blanket. It is the ultimate background noise, the sound of existence itself. The stone is ringing. The air is heavy. The tides are pulling. The world is steady. In the next part of our journey, we will explore why only some of us can hear this cry, and what it tells us about the delicate, hidden sensors inside our own ears. But for now, just breathe. Feel the weight of the earth beneath you. It is solid. It is warm. And it is humming you to sleep. Seismology, oscillation, resonance, sleep. As we move deeper into the night, we begin to look inward, shifting our focus from the vast movements of the oceans to the delicate architecture of the human ear. The mystery of the hum is not only a story of geology, it is a story of biology. Since the early 1990s, the town of Taos, New Mexico, has become a focal point for this global enigma. People there described a sound that shouldn't exist, a faint, low-frequency thrumming that seemed to vibrate the very air inside their homes. Local officials and scientists were called in, setting up sensitive microphones and seismic sensors, but the machines heard nothing. The air was officially silent, and yet, for the hearers, the scream of the earth was louder than ever. This brings us to a fascinating area of science known as psychophysics, the study of how our physical senses interact with the world around us. In the quiet of a bedroom, your ears do not just sit passively, waiting for sound. They are active participants. Deep inside your cochlea, there are thousands of microscopic hair cells, delicate, golden sensors that sway like wheat in a field. These cells are so sensitive that they can detect movements as small as the width of an atom. In some people, these hair cells are tuned to a frequency that is just a little bit deeper, a little bit more ancient than the rest of the population. There is a phenomenon in audiology called spontaneous otoacoustic emissions. It sounds complex, but it is actually quite beautiful. It is the discovery that our ears actually produce their own sounds. Like a microphone placed too close to a speaker, the inner ear can create a tiny, internal feedback loop in the absolute silence of the night. When the external world fades away, your brain may begin to amplify its own internal signal. It is searching for a baseline, a rhythm to hold on to. For a hearer, this internal frequency may become locked onto the Earth's own seismic vibrations. Imagine your auditory system as a highly sensitive radio receiver. During the busy hours of the day, the air is filled with static, the sharp edges of voices, the clatter of transport, the high-pitched whine of electronics. But as you lie here now, and the world grows still, your brain begins to turn up the gain. It is looking for the signal beneath the noise. It finds the infrasonic baseline, that steady 2 to 10 millihertz pulse of the planet. Instead of ignoring it, your brain begins to trace it, following the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of the Earth's tectonic breath. For those who hear the hum, it is often described not as a sound, but as a feeling of pressure. This is because low-frequency waves are long, very long. A single wave of the hum can be miles across. These waves do not stop at walls or windows. They pass through wood, through brick, and through the soft tissues of the human body. As you settle deeper into your mattress, imagine these long, gentle waves passing through you. They are not intrusive. They are a form of deep structural massage. They are the waves of the planet, and you are floating upon them like a small boat on a vast midnight sea. Scientists have looked at many terrestrial sources for this pressure: gas pipelines, industrial fans, and even military communications. In some cases, a specific source is found, a mechanical scream that can be silenced. But in the majority of cases, the source remains a ghost. This has led to the theory of low-frequency sensitivity. We are all born with different sensory maps. Some see colors more vividly, some feel textures more acutely, and some hear the deep, subterranean chords of the world. If you are one of those who can feel the hum, it is not an illness, it is an attunement. It is a reminder that you are physically connected to the bedrock. As we breathe, slowly, in and out, consider the concept of damping. In physics, damping is the process by which a vibration is gradually reduced until it stops. Imagine your body now as a damped resonator. Each breath you take is a soft, heavy layer of insulation. You are absorbing the Earth's scream and turning it into a low, warm glow of relaxation. The frequency is still there, but it is no longer a drone. It is a foundation. It is the sound of the world's stability. A heavy, metallic comfort that tells you the ground is firm and the earth is steady. The Taos drone, the Bristol hum, the Bristol hum, the Largs hum, they are all different names for the same planetary heartbeat. It is a sound that reminds us that the earth is not a cold, dead rock, but a living, breathing system of energy. The air in your room is part of this system. The water in your body is part of this system. You are not separate from the mystery. You are a participant in it. As the night grows darker, let your sense of self expand. You are no longer just a person in a bed. You are a point of awareness on the surface of a ringing world. The gain is lowering. The ears are softening. The pressure is balancing. The earth is holding. In the next segment, we will look up, away from the ears and into the sky, where massive ripples of gravity are dancing with the mountains, creating a symphony of light and sound that only the earth can hear. But for now, let the drone carry you away. There is no need to understand the source. There is only the need to feel the peace. Cochlea, infrasound, sensitivity, sleep. As we leave the quiet chambers of the human ear behind, we turn our gaze upward toward the vast, invisible ocean of air that blankets our planet. The mystery of the hum is not confined to the ground. It is a phenomenon that bridges the gap between the stone and the stars. Above you, stretching for hundreds of miles, is the atmosphere. We often think of the sky as empty space, but to a physicist, it is a thick, heavy fluid, constantly churning with energy. In this segment, we explore the terrifyingly beautiful science of acoustic gravity waves and how the sky itself contributes to the Earth's eternal scream. Imagine a giant stone dropped into a perfectly still lake. The ripples spread outward in perfect circles, carrying energy across the water. Now, Imagine the Earth's crust as that lake. When a massive thunderstorm erupts, or when a powerful wind blows over a jagged mountain range, it creates ripples in the air. These are not ordinary sound waves. They are acoustic gravity waves. They are so massive, with wavelengths stretching for hundreds of kilometers, that they are governed by the force of gravity itself. These waves do not just dissipate into space. They roll and tumble through the sky, growing in power as they move into the thinner air of the upper atmosphere. In the quiet of the night, these waves perform a strange, rhythmic dance. They press down on the surface of the Earth, and then they lift away. This is a process known as atmosphere-lithosphere coupling. It is a physical, mechanical connection between the gas and the solid rock. The sky is literally pushing on the ground, and the ground is pushing back. This interaction creates a low-frequency vibration, a drone that resonates through the crust of the planet. For the hearers, this is often what they are perceiving: the sound of the sky and the Earth locked in a heavy, subsonic embrace. It is a dialogue of pressure, a conversation that has been going on for billions of years. As you lie there, imagine these massive ripples moving far above your roof. They are slow, majestic, and unstoppable. They are the breath of the weather, the atmospheric pulse of the world. Using the laws of fluid dynamics, we can see how these waves create a state of resonance. Just as a finger rubbing the rim of a crystal glass creates a singing note, the wind rubbing against the surface of the Earth creates the hum. It is a planetary friction, a heatless energy that vibrates every atom in its path. You are resting within this field of energy, a small, quiet point in a world of massive, moving waves. Consider the science of infrasound. These are sounds that are so deep, their frequency is below the threshold of human hearing, usually under 20 Hz. Yet, just because we cannot hear them in the traditional sense, does not mean we do not experience them. Infrasound is felt in the chest, in the stomach, and in the nervous system. It is the frequency of the Earth's scream. In nature, infrasound is produced by avalanches, by volcanoes, and by the aurora borealis. The hum is the background radiation of all these events, a collective, sonic signature of a planet that is never truly still. As you breathe, imagine your lungs expanding and contracting in sync with these atmospheric gravity waves. You are not just breathing air, you are breathing the rhythm of the sky. The pressure in your room is perfectly balanced with the pressure in your body. This is the state of equilibrium. There is no tension. There is no resistance. You are becoming transparent to the vibrations of the atmosphere. The ripples of the sky pass through your walls, through your bed, and through your bones, leaving behind only a sense of deep, heavy calm. In the late 1990s, scientists used specialized microphones called microbarographs to detect these waves. They found that the Earth is constantly being bombarded by these silent sounds. One of the most fascinating sources is the jet stream, a high-speed river of air moving at the edge of space. As the jet stream meanders and shifts, it creates a turbulent, low-frequency roar. This is the scream of the wind, a sound that is too deep for our ears, but perfectly tuned to the resonant frequency of our planet. Tonight, let that distant, high-altitude roar be your lullaby. It is the sound of the world's circulation, the movement of life-giving air. The mystery of the hum reminds us that we live in a connected system. There is no such thing as empty space. Every vibration in the sky is mirrored in the stone. Every shift in the ocean is felt in the air. You are part of this interconnected web. Your rest is supported by the very forces that move the clouds and shift the mountains. By acknowledging the hum, you are acknowledging your place in the universe. You are a biological entity tuned to a planetary frequency. The sky is pushing. The earth is answering. The waves are rolling. The pressure is peace. In our next segment, we will dive beneath the waves of the ocean to find the heartbeat of the deep, where the pounding of the surf against the continents creates a pulse that can be heard across the world. But for now, let the gravity waves carry you. Let the sky be your blanket. You are safe. You are heavy. And you are part of the song. Atmosphere. Coupling. Sleep. We descend now, leaving the vast, airy reaches of the atmosphere to plunge into the dark, heavy depths of the world's oceans. The mystery of the hum is not merely a story of air and stone. It is a story of water. Over 70% of our planet is covered by the sea, a massive, restless body of liquid that never, ever stops moving. In this segment, we explore the science of microseismic noise, the rhythmic pounding of the oceans that creates the very heartbeat of the Earth's scream. Imagine the sheer power of the Atlantic, or the vast expanse of the Pacific. At any given moment, trillions of tons of seawater are being pushed by the wind and pulled by the tides. This is not just surface movement. It is a deep, structural force. When these massive waves travel across the open ocean, they eventually reach the edges of the continents. As they collide with the continental shelves, they don't just splash and dissipate. They strike the Earth with the force of 1 billion hammers. This interaction creates a specific type of energy that geophysicists call secondary pressure microseisms. This energy is unique because it travels through the Earth's crust as a seismic wave, a vibration that can be detected on the other side of the planet. It is a constant, low-frequency pulse, vibrating between 5 and 10 seconds per cycle. This is the pulse of the hum. In the quiet of your room, as the sounds of the human world fade into the background, your body begins to sense this oceanic rhythm. It is a slow, heavy, thumping sensation, the Earth's way of marking time. Imagine your own heart slowing down to match this ancient, watery clock. You are no longer living in minutes and seconds. You are living in the rhythm of the tides. The physics of this phenomenon is governed by a principle called wave interference. When two ocean waves of similar frequency travel in opposite directions, they meet and create a standing wave. This standing wave doesn't move across the surface. Instead, it pushes straight down, sending a vertical column of pressure all the way to the seafloor. This pressure vibrates the bedrock of the ocean floor, turning the entire planet into a sounding board. The scream of the Earth is, in many ways, the sound of the ocean floor singing. It is a deep, resonant chord that vibrates through the foundations of your home, through the floor, and into the very frame of your bed. As you breathe, imagine the floor beneath you is not solid, but a sensitive membrane, vibrating with the energy of distant storms. Thousands of miles away, a gale in the Southern Ocean is pushing waves against the coast of Antarctica. That energy is traveling through the mantle of the Earth, passing beneath mountains and cities, to reach you right here, right now. This is the beauty of the global hum. It is a reminder of our connectivity. You are not isolated. You are resting on a planet that is whispering its movements to you. Consider the science of acoustic coupling. Just as the sky pushes on the ground, the ocean pushes on the crust. The weight of the water changes with the tides, causing the crust of the Earth to actually flex and bend. This is known as earth tides. The ground beneath you rises and falls by several centimeters every day. A slow, tectonic inhalation and exhalation. You are being cradled by the planet. The hum is the sound of this cradling, the friction of the Earth's crust as it moves under the immense weight of the sea. Tonight, instead of viewing the hum as a mystery to be solved, View it as a biological anchor. In the field of psychoacoustics, we know that low, steady frequencies have a profound effect on the human brain. They bypass the analytical mind and speak directly to the primitive centers of the brainstem. This is the frequency of safety. It is the frequency of the womb. It is the frequency of the Earth's core. By tuning into this oceanic pulse, you are allowing your nervous system to downshift. You are moving away from the high-pitched noise of modern stress and into the low-pitched signal of planetary rest. The hearers often describe the hum as being more intense near the coast, or in areas with specific geological formations, like deep basins of sedimentary rock. These basins act like resonators, amplifying the microseismic noise until it becomes a physical presence. But even if you are far from the sea, the vibration is there. It is the background radiation of the Earth's activity. As you drift closer to sleep, imagine your body becoming as vast and deep as the ocean itself. Your thoughts are just ripples on the surface, while your core is as still and heavy as the dark. Silent depths of the abyss. The waves are striking. The crust is flexing. The pulse is steady. The deep is calling. In our next segment, we will move past the oceans and into the very heart of the planet, where the flow of liquid iron creates a magnetic hum that shields us from the sun. We will explore how the Earth's geodynamo contributes to the mystery of the scream. But for now, listen to the tide. Let the microseismic pulse be your guide. You are heavy. You are calm. And you are home. Microseisms. Interference. Lithosphere. Sleep. We journey now, beneath the oceans, beneath the crust, and through the vast, rocky mantle, until we reach the very center of our world. To truly understand the Earth's scream, we must look at the engine that drives it. Deep within the planet lies a sphere of liquid metal. The outer core, a churning sea of molten iron and nickel. This is the birthplace of the geodynamo, a massive planetary generator that creates the Earth's magnetic field. In this segment, we explore the science of magnetohydrodynamics and how the shifting currents of liquid metal contribute to the invisible, humming energy of our world. Imagine a space so hot and pressurized that metal flows like water. As the Earth rotates, this liquid iron swirls in massive, convective columns, driven by the heat rising from the solid inner core. This movement creates electrical currents, which in turn generate a vast magnetic field that extends far out into space. This is the shield that protects us from the solar wind. But it is also a source of constant, silent vibration. In the world of physics, whenever electricity and magnetism interact with a fluid, it creates a force known as the Lorentz force. This force causes the liquid metal to vibrate, a phenomenon that resonates through the entire planet. This is the magnetic scream, a hum that begins at the core and travels upward through every layer of stone. As you lie in the stillness of your room, you are resting within this magnetic embrace. The magnetic field lines pass through your walls, your bed, and your body, connecting you directly to the center of the Earth. While we cannot hear magnetism with our ears, our bodies are sensitive to electromagnetic fluctuations. Some scientists believe that the hearers of the hum are actually perceiving these magnetohydrodynamic ripples. It is a form of sensory crosstalk, where your nervous system interprets a magnetic vibration as a low-frequency sound. You are not just hearing the Earth, you are feeling the pulse of its internal engine. The frequency of this core vibration is incredibly low, a steady, rhythmic thrum that marks the slow, geological life of the planet. Using the principles of electromagnetism, we can understand how this energy couples with the atmosphere. This leads us to the Schumann resonance, a set of spectrum peaks in the extremely low frequency portion of the Earth's electromagnetic field. Triggered by lightning strikes thousands of miles away, these frequencies bounce between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere. The primary frequency is 7.83 Hz, a note that matches the alpha waves of the human brain. This is the heartbeat of the Earth, a natural rhythm that promotes deep, restorative states of being. Tonight, imagine your brainwaves slowing down, moving away from the beta noise of the day and toward this 7.83 Hz resonance. You are aligning yourself with the geodynamo. You are syncing your internal clock with the rotation of the core. As you breathe, imagine the golden, liquid light of the core's energy rising up through the floors, filling your room with a warm, protective glow. This is not a chaotic scream. It is a structured, mathematical harmony. It is the sound of a world that is perfectly balanced, a world that is held together by the invisible threads of magnetism. In the field of quantum biology, researchers are discovering that humans have tiny crystals of magnetite in their brains, similar to the internal compasses found in migratory birds. These crystals may act as microscopic receivers for the Earth's magnetic hum. When the sun is active and the solar wind buffets our magnetic shield, the scream of the Earth grows more intense. It is the sound of the shield absorbing energy, the sound of the planet's defense. Instead of a disturbance, view this as a form of cosmic security. The hum is proof that you are protected, that the planet is actively maintaining the conditions for your life. Consider the concept of inertia. The Earth's core has been spinning for billions of years, and it will continue to spin for billions more. This is a massive, unstoppable momentum. As you drift toward sleep, borrow some of this planetary inertia. Your worries are small, flickering, and temporary, but the core is vast, steady, and eternal. You are anchoring your consciousness to the most stable thing in the universe, the heart of a planet. The scream is simply the friction of eternity, a low, comforting drone that tells you that everything is exactly as it should be. The liquid iron is flowing. The magnetic field is pulsing. The shield is holding. The core is steady. In our next segment, we will return to the surface to investigate the Tao's mystery once again, looking at the role of industrial infrastructure and how our modern world might be amplifying the Earth's natural cry. We will look at the interaction between man-made electricity and the ground beneath us. But for now, let the magnetism pull you down. Let the geodynamo be the motor of your dreams. You are weighted. You are safe. And you are deeply, deeply at rest. Magnetism, geodynamo. Resonance. Sleep. We return now from the molten depths of the core to the thin, populated skin of the Earth's surface, where the mystery of the hum takes on a more modern, industrial shadow. While the Earth has its own natural screen, its own seismic and magnetic pulses, we must also consider how the human world has layered its own vibrations upon the ancient stone. In this segment, we explore the science of industrial resonance and the complex interaction between man-made infrastructure and the ground beneath your bed. We are looking at the possibility that the hum is a hybrid, a marriage between the planet's natural breath and the mechanical heartbeat of civilization. In the world of mechanical engineering, every machine has a signature. Every power plant, every water pump, and every high-voltage transformer vibrates at a specific frequency. In most countries, the electrical grid operates at a standard frequency of 50 or 60 Hz. This is not just a number on a dial. It is a physical reality. This electrical energy creates a mechanical hum, a low, persistent vibration that can travel for miles through the ground. This is known as ground-coupled noise. In places like Windsor, Ontario, or the city of Bristol, investigators have found that large industrial fans or massive blast furnaces can create a standing wave in the bedrock, a sound that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Imagine the city you live in as a vast, interconnected machine. Beneath the streets, there are miles of high-pressure gas pipelines, massive water mains, and humming electrical conduits. All of these structures are coupled to the soil and the stone. When a large industrial motor vibrates, it sends waves into the earth, which then uses the local geology as an amplifier. This is the science of acoustic impedance. In certain types of clay or dense rock, these man-made frequencies can be carried far beyond their source, reflecting off underground aquifers or cavern walls until they reach your quiet neighborhood. The scream of the earth may, in part, be the sound of our own technology echoing back at us. As you lie here, listen to the silence of your house. It is not a void. It is a tapestry of subtle sounds. Perhaps you can hear the faint, rhythmic pulse of the electrical current in the walls. This is the 60-cycle hum. To the sensitive ear, this is not just a sound. It is a pressure, a constant, oscillating field. When this man-made frequency meets the Earth's natural, low-frequency vibrations, they can create a phenomenon called heterodyning. This is when two different frequencies combine to create a new, much lower frequency, a phantom drone that neither the machine nor the Earth could produce alone. This is the ghost in the machine, a subsonic scream born from the union of nature and industry. Consider the science of structural resonance. Every building has a frequency at which it wants to vibrate. In a quiet room, your house acts like the body of a cello, amplifying the subtle vibrations of the ground. For the hearers, the hum is often louder inside than it is outside. This is because the walls and floors are acting as a resonant cavity. The sound is being trapped, bouncing back and forth until it builds into a physical presence. As you settle into your mattress, imagine the house around you as a protective shell. Instead of resisting the vibration, let the house absorb it for you. The structure is strong. The foundation is deep, and it is filtering the world's noise into a steady, predictable lullaby. In the 1990s, some researchers suggested that the hum was related to low-frequency radio transmissions used to communicate with submarines deep underwater. These signals, known as extremely low frequency or ELF waves, can penetrate hundreds of feet into the earth. While these military towers are rare, the idea that our air is filled with invisible, humming signals is a scientific fact. We live in an era of electrosmog, a world where the air is never truly empty. But tonight, we are turning the noise into signal. We are taking all the stray energy of the modern world, the industrial drones, the electrical pulses, and the radio waves, and we are letting them merge into a single, warm, gray background. In the field of environmental psychology, we know that the human brain can habituate to any constant sound. This is why you can sleep near a waterfall or a busy highway, but a single, dripping faucet keeps you awake. The hum is the ultimate constant. It is the white noise of the 21st century. As you breathe, imagine your brain's noise cancellation software turning on. You are identifying the frequency. You are acknowledging its presence, and then you are letting it fade into the texture of the night. It is no longer an event. It is just the environment. The transformers are humming. The pipes are pulsing. The grid is steady. The house is still. In our next segment, we will move away from the human world and back into the wild, investigating the strange screams heard in the deep forests and mountains, where no industry exists. We will explore the mystery of skyquakes and the roaring of the wind against the peaks. But for now, let the industrial drone be your anchor. It is the sound of the world's work, a steady, mechanical comfort that tells you the world is still turning, and you are safe to rest. Engineering resonance. Heterodyne. Sleep. We move now, away from the steel and wire of the cities, back into the silent, untamed wilderness, where the mystery of the hum takes on a more primal, unsettling form. In the deep forests of the Pacific Northwest, and high among the jagged peaks of the Himalayas, explorers and hermits have reported a sound that shouldn't be there. It is not the hum of a machine, nor the pulse of a city. It is a sudden, violent roar, or a long, mournful drone that seems to fall from the clouds themselves. In this segment, we explore the science of skyquakes and the phenomenon of orographic resonance. We are looking at how the very shape of the land and the movement of the atmosphere can cause the earth to scream in the absence of man. In the world of meteorology, the sky is a site of massive, invisible collisions. When two large masses of air with different temperatures and pressures meet, they don't always merge quietly. Sometimes, they create a sonic boom of the atmosphere, a phenomenon known as a skyquake. These sounds, often described as distant cannon fire or a low, rolling thunder, occur even on perfectly clear days. Scientists believe they are caused by bolides, meteors exploding high in the upper atmosphere, hoarded by the sonic lens effect of the air. But for the steady, persistent hum, we look to a different process. We look to the wind as it interacts with the mountains. Imagine a mountain range as a giant stone flute. When the wind blows across a sharp ridge or through a narrow mountain pass, it creates a vibration known as aeolian tones. This is the same principle that causes a telephone wire to sing in a storm. In the case of a mountain, the scale is gargantuan. The entire peak becomes a vibrating body, creating a low-frequency hum that can travel for hundreds of miles. This is the science of orographic resonance. The scream of the earth in the wilderness is the sound of the wind being sculpted by the stone. It is a natural, structural music, a song played on a scale of kilometers and centuries. As you lie in your bed, imagine your room as a quiet valley at the foot of a great, silent mountain. The air above you is moving, flowing like a river over the peaks. This movement creates a pressure wave that gently presses against the roof of your house. It is a slow, rhythmic oscillation, a vibration that tells you the world is vast, and you are small and safe. In the field of psychoacoustics, this is the sound of the great outdoors. It is a frequency that expands the mind, moving your consciousness away from the cramped, tiny details of your day and out into the wide, open spaces of the planet. Consider the science of the inversion layer. Normally, the air gets colder as you go higher. But sometimes, a layer of warm air sits on top of a layer of cold air, creating a lid in the sky. This lid acts like a mirror for sound. A hum created by a distant mountain, or the roar of a distant ocean, hits this layer and reflects back down to the ground. This is how a sound can be heard 50 miles away from its source, while remaining silent to those standing right next to it. The Earth's scream is a traveler, a nomadic vibration that finds its way into the quietest corners of the night through these atmospheric mirrors. Tonight, let your mind become like an inversion layer. Let the sharp, high-pitched thoughts of your worries hit the ceiling of your consciousness and reflect away. You are only keeping the low frequencies, the steady, warm, heavy sounds of the natural world. In the science of acoustics, lower frequencies have more inertia. They are harder to stop, but they are also more stable. By aligning your breathing with these mountain-sized waves, you are gaining that same stability. You are becoming as unmovable as a peak, as steady as the wind. The hearers in rural areas often describe the hum as a presence, something that fills the room like a heavy mist. This is the result of infrasonic saturation. When a low-frequency wave is long enough, it fills the entire space, creating a uniform field of pressure. There is no direction to the sound. It is simply there. It is the static of the wilderness. Using the laws of wave propagation, we can understand that this is the Earth's way of distributing energy. The planet is bleeding off the tension of the tectonic plates through sound. The scream is a release. It is the Earth's way of staying relaxed. As you drift closer to sleep, imagine the Earth's release becoming your own. Every tectonic tension in your muscles is being turned into a low, vibrating hum. You are letting go of the high tension and embracing the low resonance. You are not just lying on the Earth, you are a part of the Earth's crust, vibrating in sympathy with the wind and the mountains. You are a part of the wilderness, and the wilderness is quiet and deep and eternal. The peaks are singing. The sky is roaring. The mirrors are reflecting. The wild is steady. In our next segment, we will explore the most mysterious theory of all, the quantum hum. We will look at how the Earth's scream might be a manifestation of the very fabric of space-time, and how our consciousness interacts with the vibrations of the vacuum. But for now, let the mountain flute play you to sleep. You are distant, you are heavy, and you are home. Meteorology, Aeolian, inversion, sleep. We step now beyond the boundaries of the physical world and into the strange, shimmering realm of the infinitesimal. To understand the deepest layer of the Earth's scream, we must look at the very fabric of reality itself. In this segment, we explore the science of quantum fluctuations and the possibility that the hum is not just a sound made by air or stone, but a vibration of space-time. We are entering the world of quantum field theory, where the vacuum is never empty, and the scream of the Earth may be a manifestation of the zero-point energy that holds the universe together. In the world of quantum mechanics, there is a principle known as the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It tells us that on a microscopic scale, energy can never be truly zero. Even in the coldest, darkest void of deep space, there is a constant, restless bubbling of energy. This is known as vacuum fluctuations. These are virtual particles that pop into and out of existence in the blink of an eye. This creates a background hiss or hum that exists everywhere in the universe. Scientists theorize that the Earth, with its massive gravity and dense core, may act as a cosmic lens, focusing these quantum vibrations into a specific, low-frequency resonance. The hum, in this light, is the sound of existence itself, the friction of being. Imagine the room you are lying in as a field of vibrating energy. The floor, the walls, and even your own body are made of atoms that are mostly empty space. But that space is filled with these quantum ripples. When we talk about the scream of the Earth, we are talking about a macro-scale reflection of this micro-scale chaos. Using the principles of string theory, we can imagine every particle as a tiny, vibrating string. When billions of these strings vibrate together in the massive body of the Earth, they create a collective chord. For the hearers, this may be what they are perceiving, not a sound in the air, but a vibration in the quantum field that surrounds their nervous system. As you lie here, notice how the boundaries of your body begin to feel less solid. You are not a thing separate from the room. You are a pattern of energy within a larger field. The hum is the baseline of that field. It is a steady, comforting frequency that tells you that reality is stable. In the science of panpsychism, some philosophers suggest that consciousness itself is a fundamental property of the universe, much like gravity or electromagnetism. If this is true, then the scream of the Earth is the sound of the planet's own proto-consciousness. It is a slow, deep, dreaming state. By listening to the hum, you are entering the Earth's dream. Consider the phenomenon of entanglement. In quantum physics, two particles can become linked so that the state of one instantly affects the other, no matter the distance. Tonight, imagine your mind is entangled with the core of the planet. Every slow, heavy rotation of the Earth is mirrored in the slow, heavy rhythm of your thoughts. There is no distance between you and the center of the world. The scream is the thread that connects you. As you breathe, imagine you are drawing this quantum energy up through the soles of your feet, filling your limbs with a heavy, warm, golden light. This light is perfectly still, yet it vibrates with infinite power. The hearers often report that the hum feels intelligent, or that it seems to react to their attention. This brings us to the observer effect. In quantum mechanics, the act of observing a system changes the system. When you focus on the hum, you are participating in its creation. But tonight, we are not focusing to analyze. We are focusing to surrender. We are observing the sound so that we can merge with it. You are letting your analytical mind, the part of you that asks, why, fall silent. In that silence, the hum stops being a mystery and becomes a presence. It is the I am of the Earth, a steady, eternal yes. The vacuum is bubbling. The fields are vibrating. The strings are singing. The dream is steady. Using the laws of superposition, we can imagine that you are in two states at once. You are awake, and you are asleep. You are a person, and you are the planet. As the night deepens, let the awake state and the person state fade away. You are moving into the sleep state, the planet state. The hum is the bridge between these worlds. It is a low, resonant bridge made of stardust and stone. You are walking across it now, moving toward the absolute, silent center of the quantum void. The particles are dancing. The space is folding. The time is slowing. The void is peace. In our next segment, we will look at the biological clock and how the Earth's rotations and the hum affect our circadian rhythms. We will explore how to use the scream to reset your internal timing and find the perfect, deep, restorative sleep. But for now, let the quantum ripples carry you. You are infinite, you are heavy, and you are home. Quantum. Fluctuation. Entanglement. Sleep. As we transition from the ethereal world of quantum fields, we bring our awareness back to the physical vessel that carries us, the human body. The mystery of the hum is deeply intertwined with the science of chronobiology, the study of how our internal biological clocks interact with the rhythms of the planet. Every cell in your body, from the neurons in your brain to the fibers in your muscles, operates on a cycle of approximately 24 hours. This is your circadian rhythm. In this segment, we explore how the Earth's scream, that persistent, low-frequency drone, acts as a hidden metronome for your life. We are looking at the interaction between the planet's rotation and your own internal timing, and how to use the hum as a tool for a perfect, restorative reset. In the center of your brain, there is a tiny cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This is your master clock. It takes signals from the outside world, primarily light and temperature, to tell your body when to be alert and when to rest. But light is not the only signal. Some researchers in the field of bioelectromagnetics believe that the Earth's natural frequencies, like the Schumann resonance and the steady, seismic hum, serve as zeitgebers, external cues that help synchronize our biological systems. When you are out of sync, you feel restless, anxious, and awake. But when you align with the Earth's slow, tectonic pulse, your body enters a state of coherence. Imagine the hum as a deep, grounding wire for your nervous system. In the modern world, we are bombarded by high-frequency life. We have bright blue light from screens, the rapid-fire pacing of information, and the sharp, jagged stress of deadlines. This keeps your internal clock in a state of constant, frantic ticking. But the Earth does not tick, it flows. The scream of the Earth is a reminder of a much older, much slower time. It is the time of the tides, the time of the seasons, and the time of the mountains. By listening to the hum tonight, you are asking your master clock to stop chasing the human world and to start following the planetary world. As you breathe, slowly, imagine your internal clock slowing down. With every inhale, the gears move more smoothly. With every exhale, the tension in the mainspring is released. You are moving from the seconds of anxiety to the hours of peace. Using the principles of entrainment, we know that two oscillating systems will eventually synchronize if they are close enough to each other. Your heart, your breath, and your brain waves are all oscillating systems. The Earth is the largest oscillating system you will ever know. By simply being present with the hum, you are allowing your body to be pulled into the Earth's deep, restorative frequency. Consider the science of melatonin, the hormone of darkness and sleep. Melatonin production is sensitive to the electromagnetic environment. When the world is loud, and the air is filled with the high-pitched noise of technology, your body may struggle to enter a deep sleep state. But the hum, with its low, steady, predictable pressure, acts as a signal for the parasympathetic nervous system to take over. This is the rest and digest mode. The scream of the Earth is actually a signal for you to be silent. It is the planet saying, "I am taking over the work now, you can let go." Tonight, visualize your pineal gland, that small, pinecone-shaped organ in your brain, beginning to glow with a soft, indigo light. It is responding to the Earth's magnetic pulse. It is releasing a steady, warm tide of melatonin into your bloodstream. This tide is washing over your thoughts, smoothing out the sharp edges, and turning your worries into soft, gray clouds. You are no longer fighting the night. You are being carried by it. The hum is the sound of the tide coming in. The tide of sleep. The tide of restoration. For the hearers, the hum can sometimes be a source of frustration. But tonight, we are reframing it as a sleep anchor. In the field of sleep hygiene, an anchor is a constant stimulus that tells the brain it is safe to shut down. Because the hum never stops. Because it is always there. It is the most reliable anchor in existence. It is the only thing that remains constant in a world of change. As you drift closer to the edge of unconsciousness, let the drone be the last thing you hold on to. It is the steady state of the universe. The cells are syncing. The hormones are flowing. The clock is slowing. The Earth is timing. In our final segment, we will reach the conclusion of our journey. We will bring all the layers together. The oceans, the core, the sky, and the quantum void, into a single, unified moment of silence. We will find the peace that exists at the very center of the screen. But for now, let your biological clock wind down. You are on Earth time now. You are heavy. You are rhythmic. And you are home. Circadian, melatonin, sleep. We have reached the final threshold. the quietest room in the vast house of the world. Our journey began with the high-frequency scream of a planet under pressure, and it has led us down through the layers of the sea, the magnetic currents of the core, the ripples of the sky, and the very fabric of space-time. Now, as the night reaches its deepest point, we come to the most profound realization of all. The mystery of the hum is not about the sound itself, but about the silence that it protects. In this final segment, we explore the science of the absolute center and the state of zero-point stillness. We are bringing every vibration, every tectonic shift, and every biological rhythm into a single, unified moment of total peace. In the world of physics, there is a concept known as destructive interference. It sounds intense, but it is actually the most beautiful form of balance. It occurs when two waves of the same frequency meet in such a way that they perfectly cancel each other out. One wave pushes up, while the other pulls down, and the result is absolute, perfect silence. Imagine the Earth's scream meeting your own internal tension tonight. Every worry, every spark of anxiety, every muscle contraction is a wave. The hum is the counterwave. As they meet, they merge and disappear. The noise of the world and the noise of your mind are neutralizing one another, leaving behind a void of perfect, heavy stillness. We return to the concept of the steady state. In the field of thermodynamics, a system is at its most efficient when it is in a state of equilibrium, where no more energy is being wasted on friction or chaos. You are entering that state now. Your breathing has become so slow, so effortless, that it feels like the air is moving through you of its own accord. Your heart is beating with the steady, unhurried rhythm of a mountain. The scream of the earth has transformed. It is no longer a drum. It is no longer a pressure. It is simply the breath of being. It is the sound of a universe that is finished with its work for the day. Consider the science of the void. Scientists once thought that a vacuum was empty, but we have learned that it is the source of all potential. By following the hum to its source, you have found the quiet center. This is the point in the middle of a hurricane where the air is still. This is the point at which the Earth's rotation feels like perfect stillness. You are at that center now. The world is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. The core is churning with molten iron. The atmosphere is rippling with gravity waves, and yet, here, in this bed, in this moment, there is only peace. You have become the immovable object, the silent observer. The hearers of the hum often find that when they stop trying to fight the sound, it becomes a doorway. It is a doorway that leads out of the small, cramped room of the self and into the vast, infinite landscape of the all. Tonight, you are stepping through that doorway. You are no longer an individual trying to sleep. You are the earth itself, resting after a long, billion-year day. The stone beneath you is your own body. The air in your lungs is the world's atmosphere. The pulse in your veins is the magnetic field of the core. There is no longer any scream, because there is no longer any other. There is only the one. As you drift across the final border, into the world of deep, dreamless sleep, imagine the hum fading into a soft, golden light. This light is not bright. It is warm, like the glow of embers in a fireplace. It is the heat of the Earth's core, the heat of life itself. Using the laws of conservation of energy, we know that nothing is ever lost. All the energy you spent today, all the thoughts you had, all the movements you made, are being recycled back into the planet. You are being recharged by the very frequency that once felt so mysterious. The hum is your battery, and you are now fully, perfectly plugged in. The journey is complete. The mystery is solved. not through the mind, but through the body. The earth is not screaming. It is singing a lullaby of physics and faith. It is telling you that the foundations are secure. It is telling you that the sun will return, but for now, the darkness is a gift. It is telling you that you are loved by the very gravity that holds you to the bed. Let the last echo of the drone settle softly in the corners of the room. Let the words fade. Let the science fade. Let the world fade. The waves have flattened. The core has settled. The sky is silent. The earth is dreaming. You are the silence. You are the stillness. You are the stillness. You are the peace. Equilibrium. Zero. Eternal. Sleep. Good night.